up, everyone? It's your girl desiabri here again with another video, with a video I promise. Sorry for the late update, but things have been kind of hectic here in Memphis. I don't know if you guys have heard about the big storm that hit Memphis. It's the third largest storm that has hit here, and my family and I were affected. We still don't have lights, and it's like 11 days, almost 2 weeks later. But anyways, I'm here to give you guys my undergrad / pre-med story. And of course, I'm representing my undergrad, UT, go Vols. And I kind of just want to start off with how I chose my college. I was in between, I only applied to 7 colleges. I was in between WashU and St. Louis, UT because it was in-state, and Xavier in St. Louis, which was a HBCU. I had went to a trip. They took all seniors who had gotten into UT to like help them solidify their choice, and I had a ball. And of course, they gave me a full ride. And so the summer before I went to UT, I did research at their med school here in Memphis, UT Health Science Center, where I worked in the neonatal physiology lab, and our research really helped with the babies being born at Le Bonheur and Regional 1 Medical Center, and those babies went to the NICU in those hospitals. So fast forward to fall semester. Like I said, I had a full ride, but I did take out loans because I was first generation. I was considered first generation, low income. Although my mom had got her bachelor's degree online, that was like right before I went to school. So she really didn't have the true like out of state college experience. And like my uncle only went to his college for like a semester. So when we got there, it was still a whole new different experience. Moved from West Tennessee to East Tennessee. And so let's look it up. So from there, like I chose my dorm through, like we had an IHOP on campus, so I chose a dorm closest to the IHOP. Yes, I did. I was obsessed with pancakes. But when I was going into college, I knew kind of sort of that I wanted to be a doctor, and I ended up getting a roommate that was still interested in pre-med also. And so when you go in, now colleges have slowly exited out the pre-medicine route. You just take those classes. It's not a concentration, it's not a major, it's not a minor. You just take the classes, and it just doesn't show up in your diploma. Like my diploma says says Bachelor's of Arts, but it doesn't say, oh, she was also pre-med. Like that's not even on my transcript. So me and her to like some of the same classes. My freshman fall semester was really trying to get into the groove of things and knowing who I am. I was in a long distance relationship, trying to balance that, and just trying to balance out what is college. My advisor was trying to give me an honors program. I didn't care for it. Even in high school, I was an honors AP kid, but I didn't care for those accolades because to me, like, you should be teaching everyone on the same level or try to get them to the same level, but that's a whole different video. How I feel about education. So me and her, we joined like the Red Cross Club together. We was starting to do this thing called Alpha Epsilon Delta, which is the pre-health society, like pre-health organization that's very well known. And so we started going to their stuff. Second semester rolled around, I was taking 18 hours. I was also doing a class to become a resident assistant, and I didn't have that count towards my credits or anything. So I was taking about 19 hours, had an 8 o'clock every single day. I was also putting my all into everything that semester, and that's when I started to have severe sleep paralysis. I thought I had stopped breathing, at night, but until I read of what was going on, I had severe sleep paralysis because I was doing so much and not getting enough rest. And that's when I learned more about my body, how I operate, which is I need my sleep. So that year I ended the year with a 3.79 375. I ended the year very high. Could have went to honors program. I didn't. That summer I took the Spanish classes. I needed to go straight into my major because in my freshman year I was undecided. I was choose between sociology. I didn't want a sciences major. I knew my love for sciences was real, but I also had a love for humanities and social sciences. So I was stuck between Spanish and sociology. I went on and picked Spanish or Hispanic Studies, it's called, at UT. And from there, I started mapping out my own catalog and how I want to do things. I knew I wanted to study abroad, so I took those classes in the summer. So the next semester, I would roll into those upper level Spanish classes, start going towards my major while doing pre-med. And so, like my freshman fall year, I took chemistry 120. But I had to teach it to myself. Ended up having a B in that class. I was very proud of myself because I did it on my own. And then the second semester I took Bio 140, which is the second part of biology, because I had passed the AP test, the AP biology test, but they only allowed I think a 5 to not take the whole biology course. But since I did pass, I didn't have to take the first half. I only took the second half. So sixth semester I took that, got an A. I took chemistry 130, got an A minus. I had a great teacher. That was that 8 o'clock class, and she was an awesome teacher. She's the reason why I know a little bit of chemistry today. Like I said, that summer I took Spanish. Fall sophomore year, I was not an RA yet. I could not take the job during the summer because of those Spanish classes, but it was a blessing in disguise, because at the end of, the end of the fall semester, my sophomore year, beginning of my spring of my sophomore year, I became an RA. So that first semester, I was living in an on-campus apartment. I took organic 1 and physics 1, and the reason why I know so much about the beginning of organic chemistry is because of that teacher. He was an awesome teacher. I had an awesome tutor with a supplemental instruction. I did so well on that final because I wasn't doing that well in the class. I did so well on the final that I ended up coming out with that class with a B. With organic, and the physics class I came out the B minus because I had to basically teach myself for physics 1. The teacher was not that good. Roll around into the spring semester sophomore year, I became an RA. I was taking organic 2. I was taking higher level Spanish classes. I was also taking physics 2. Physics 2, I did really well. I got a B plus in that. Organic chemistry 2, I failed, but since the class was on such a huge curve, I still got a C in it. And that teacher was horrible, and I was just going through a huge transition in becoming a student leader. So for a RA or resident assistant at UT, you are the resource. You are the first thing your residents see. You have to know XYZ about your residents. You're doing programming. You are their mentor without even necessarily being a mentor. And I had a floor of 42 girls. So, and they had already had 2 RAs that were unsuccessful with them. But other people in other schools say, oh, RA just sign, you slip for the safety code. No, we are the resources. We are the person you look up to. Before you go to anyone else, you go, if you're a great RA, you could go to your RA first about your problems. So it was trying to balance everything, and I was not balancing as well. My sophomore year, my GPA dropped dramatically because not only was I going through transition in college life, my home and family life was affecting me also. And I look back on sophomore year now, and I could see how out of it and depressed I was compared to how I was my senior year. But college will put you in a spot where you're uneasy, and I just can't explain it. The Khadijah I am now, the Khadijah I was in my senior year of high school, and the happiness I felt part of my freshman year. I don't I think sophomore year I was just going through the motions. Like I said, it really didn't hit me about how I was and everything until after I started reflecting back on my years at UT. But anyways, to continue, that summer after sophomore year, I don't even remember what I did. I really don't. I think I just chilled. I ended up, if I'm not mistaken, yes, I ended up getting my car that I have now. I had saved up for that car and everything. And I rode into my junior year. My junior year, I think what kept me going my junior year was that, was my job, were my residents. Shout out to Massey 5 North, circa 2014 through 2015. Those are my girls, those are my babies. I had the leadership, living and learning community, and I absolutely loved them. I had everyone from freshmen, sophomores, and I even had grad students on my floor, and I absolutely loved it. We cooked, we did everything. Like, they kept me going because I remember my junior year, I just felt, I can't explain it, but that's how I felt because my fall semester, I took organic chemistry lab. That was okay. And then I took biochemistry, which was something I enjoyed, but I struggled with because I did not hone in into my study skills. So let me back up. My freshman year, for some reason, I was okay. I knew how to study, but as you get into bigger and higher classes, you don't have as much help, you don't have as much tutoring. I had not been completely comfortable with going to office hours for professors while others did. Like, I didn't know how to. I was still although I'm very extroverted, I was still shy. It was still something that I was struggling with. When I did go to office hours, it was a little bit too late. You know, it was just a lot of factors that I look back now like, oh, I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have did this. Like, I had started honing to those study skills, but it was a little too late. And I look back at it now, and if I could retake that class, my biochem class, I most definitely probably get an A in it because I can understand it, I can spit it back to you, but how the teacher did his test really challenged me. Most definitely one of my most challenging classes, and one of those classes I knew I could have did great in if I wasn't battling so many things, because I remember not wanting to be in school no more, down on myself about wanting to be a doctor. I had lost that passion to become a doctor because I was just going through the motions of going through college. I did not join AED officially, which was the pre-health organization I was talking about. RA, I was having another leadership position in a all-women's council who spoke for women on all accords, all accounts. I was doing a lot with that because that had become a passion of mine. So it was just a lot of things that were going on my fall semester, my junior year, which I did okay, but not as great. My spring semester, I did great. So like in organic lab, I think I get like an A minus, and then in biochem, I get a C in that class, and I worked my butt off for that C at last minute, because I had realized, I realized like getting up in the morning, doing things were better for me, and everything. It was just, I knew, but I could not do the consistency that I had my freshman year. And it probably is because of my sophomore year and everything that I was going through. In the spring semester, my junior year, I went on and signed up for study abroad. I was looking for programs that had health and Spanish, and that was Costa Rica. So I got into that, and so I started doing scholarships for that. I think I took genetics the next semester. Oh, I bummed the final. I could have had an A in that class, but I bummed the final, which made me have, like, I did so bad, I did a B minus. Like, I had 3 finals back to back. The rest of the finals I had A's in, and that one because I had missed the day. I think he was talking about the final, or I had misheard him, and I did not study as much for the last end of the course as I should have. Like, was getting like 98s on the test, like boom, bombed that final and messed up my grade for genetics, but I still know my stuff, okay? I think what happened, because my junior year, like I said, what kept me going my junior year was my resident assistant job. I felt like my romantic relationship was coming to an end, which I did end it at the end of, no, before I went to study abroad. That junior year, summer, I worked at a Girl Scouts camp, and then I tried to study for MCAT during that, and like that month before I went to Costa Rica, because I went to Costa Rica at the end of September, so I took my MCAT like a week before I left. But I was just going through so much. Some things went weird with my health, so that was affecting me right before my senior, right before I left for Costa Rica. And so it was just a lot of things that affected me studying MCAT. And also, I just underestimated it. Honestly, I did not do well on it, because that was the MCAT 2015. And so it was a 7-hour test. I did not feel bogged down because, so I really did not study for CARS or psychology, sociology. I studied for those at the last minute. I did not study like I needed to for the sciences, so those were the lowest. But I scored in the 50th percentile for CARS and psychology, sociology without any studying. So they gave me a boost, but my science was still trash because of how I did not study for them while my freshman through my junior year. And I had heard people say, hey, get your MCAT books early, start doing notes. But like I said, I had lost my passion to become a doctor. And it was not until I went to Costa Rica and did alternative medicine, learned about clinics, and spent, I just refound my passion for wanting to become a doctor while in Costa Rica, and while looking into other types of medicine like traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, moxibustion, things like that. And that's when I started to research more while I was Costa Rica on like post-bac, what to do, because I knew my GPA was not going to fix it. I have like a B average in sciences for my GPA, but in my whole cumulative GPA, I had 3.2 by the time I graduated. Because like I said, I just lost my passion for a lot of things, but I had discovered some on the way. And I've realized everything's just a journey. So like while I was in Costa Rica for the semester, my fall semester, I rebalanced myself. I refound who I is, and I'm going to be. I found out that I wanted to go DO versus MD. I found out more about natural medicine, and I kind of start building myself up into what is now. You see that transition from the first video to now, in my transition into what the higher power has for me, because I went from one to go into this fall, and now I'm like, it may not be meant for me to go and be a doctor for a couple more years, and that's fine because everyone's journey is different. What I learned while scribing, and now that people change their career paths in their 30s and 40s, and I just turned 23 in May, and so it's just a journey. So now I'm about to go into my master's in public health in the fall. That will take 2 years. I do plan on working in that field for like 2 years to pay back some of those loans, so I don't want to drown in debt. I'm about to start off paying on the couple of loans that I did have to take out in undergrad. A couple of loans in my freshman year because I did not have a job. Sophomore year, I took out a couple. Did not take out any junior year. I had to take out a couple senior year because the school took away some of my original loans because I had got outside scholarships to take care of study abroad. But out there in my college career, I had 2 jobs. Well, mostly 1 job, but then 2 jobs, had side hustles, and worked and did classes. So I did a lot. I hope this makes sense. I hope this clarifies my journey. I hope this helps someone out. Be patient, and things will come into fruition. So, yep. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Suggest any other videos.